So recently I've noticed a lot of people baring teeth, shall we say.
Photoshop is so much better than any other software out there, I am telling you. If you think otherwise, you're wrong. It is so much better than Lightroom, Illuminate, Capture One, you name it. There's just nothing in comparison. And if you think any other way, I'm telling you now, you're an idiot. You're wrong. You're wrong. I'm going to tell you 10 reasons why. 1, it's so much faster than any other software. It's just not even comparison. It's just double the speed. 2, it is so much more. And besides, you can go all the way to like an itty bitty pixel and edit it and it'd be amazing. I don't understand how anyone can even think otherwise. It's insane. 3, you have so much more control. Huh? Oh, scary, yeah? What's going on? What? Eh? This isn't like you. This isn't you. You alright? Come on. Tell you what. Let's go get a brew. Let's talk it out. Come on, with it.
Recently I've noticed a lot of people baring teeth, shall we say, on Twitter in their respective communities. And it goes a little bit like this. Ladies and gentlemen, ding ding ding, round 1. Shout out to my bras. Everyone that doesn't use Photoshop, guys, you are so talented. Ding ding ding, round 2. Dude, why is everyone so salty in landscape photography? God, it's so snobbery. Sick of it, it makes me feel ill. And round 3, this one's particular because I'm showing you the picture. Everything is Photoshop, it's not cosplay, it's not a real face, blah 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 blah. Insert the photographer having to actually show the real raw image just because she designed a set, put a lot of makeup on, done this sort of futuristic fantasy type photo shoot. Good on her. So I figured today, let's talk about it. Now I know, this negative type of back and forth bitching, if you like, it's not just in photography, it's in all different communities, particularly on Twitter, granted. But why? Right, let's start at the top, shall we? So, honestly, tell me, how many of you who watched that beginning of the video either got really angry and wanted to jump in the screen and shake my head and tell me that I was wrong, or maybe even secretly thought, yes, finally, yes, someone's gonna prove once and for all that Photoshop is the greatest. Like, honestly, tell yourselves, how many? I think I'm safe to say, in this new modern world that we all live in, that we can all agree that the people that are watching this video, we're all human. Correct? Okay, brilliant. Well, let me get the camera. Okay, so we're all human, so it means we have one thing in common. We all have this primal instinct to conform, whether we think about it or not. Our whole life is about conformity. It's about creating groups of communities that we feel safe in and feel validated in. But it does create an imbalance. And it's happened since the start of time, since the dawn of time. And if you mix that ingredient with art, which at its core is an expression of the time that we're currently in, it's why when we invade other countries and change civilizations and colonize areas, and when I say I mean every single different country in the world has done it at some point within history, and it's why they destroy art. It's because then they can get rid of those relics, those meanings that civilization has created. And this has gone on for millennia. It's not something new in the last 100 years. And that is why, if you combine that need for conformity, for community, with that powerful message that some art can portray, you can start to see why you'd have groups forming in a real passionate way. For me, it comes down to tribalism. And the reason for this is important. So I want to give you an example and try and set it out. So you know what it's like studying for whatever it is that you love to study, but it's still a lot of hours. So whether it's filmmaking, photography, acting, singing, dancing, whatever. The amount of hours that you commit in your life to your hobby or passion adds up, and it adds up quickly. Imagine you're Joe Blogs and you've literally committed 10,000 hours of your time to landscape photography or acting, and a particular way to learn. You've learned the method acting way, or whatever it may be, or in my case, you've learned via Photoshop, and you're very specific in that you've just learned that way. You've just learned for 10,000 hours, and you're confident where you are, and you're still learning, you're enjoying it. And you go on the Twitter or whatever, and you start to see other people questioning that, and also maybe saying that they only have to do 8,000 hours with Capture One or whatever it is. You're going to be very hard to have to tell yourself, admit to yourself, that have you wasted a little bit of that time that you invested so much and put all the hours into, that you could say that you're confident in your ability in whatever art form you do? Well, this is where I think this tribalism starts to come by. Now you wonder where I was, won't you? I'm just making my room a little bit more exciting because it gets a bit boring, doesn't it? But there we go. Anyway, I'm digressing. So imagine then, upon that worry that you've not quite done the same as someone else, you start to feel insecure. You're on Twitter, you're on wherever. You can see where I'm going with this. I don't think I need to explain it. So I'm going to give you another, I hope, a really interesting example of maybe the way that we can change our mind. So let's pretend you've got two actors, actor A and B. One of them goes and studies for 10,000 hours and they do the method acting. That's all they've ever studied for, and they get to the end of those 10,000 hours and they get a job in a show, and they're one of the lead characters. Amazing. At the same time, you've got person B who's done Stanislavski. And person B has done the Stanislavski. Stanislavski. And person B has done the Stanislavski. Person B has done the Stanislavski. And person B has done the Stanislavski. And person B has done the Stanislavski. God, I've done this 8 times, I'm not doing it anymore. Person B has done that method for 10,000 hours and also got a part in the play. They're getting along and they learn, they're doing different ideas. Let's twist that story now and pretend that the person that did the method acting actually only needed 5,000 hours to get to that level of acting ability. Let's say they're on show, they're talking after hours, blah blah blah, what did you do, I did this, and suddenly start, oh, what, yours only took you 5,000 hours? My God, I took 10,000 for mine. Oh no. Suddenly the doubt creeps in, they're both like, is in real life. They carry on acting for the next 2 months, they learn from each other, they start going, oh, why did you do that yesterday? It was really, really good. Oh, I did it because I learned it here. Oh, amazing. Oh, I might try that. Flip side, it happens again to the other one and vice versa, and they both learn off each other and get a lot from the fact that these two opposing methods have now collided together and offered more experience for the two actors, thus making them better and more experienced. Now, that's essential, that bit in the middle, because we're humans and we talk to one another. We like I said before, we conform. We don't want conflict. We want to find a common ground, and their common ground was acting as the art, but the different methodology within it. Fine, because they could see in those eyes of those body language the other person had a vulnerability, whether it be the person going, oh God, I've not done enough hours here, they've done way more than me, they're better than me, or the other person thinking, I've done far too many hours here, maybe they've got something I don't. They can see that because we're together. Now, I only tell you this because if you take that key ingredient out that we have as human beings, which is sitting next to each other now and talking and seeing each other's eyes and blah, 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 and you go on Twitter and type away, all that building of that relationship and that understanding that the other person meant well, blah, 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 is gone. And suddenly you're left with that initial meeting of, you've done 10,000 hours and I've only done 5, and you did X, Y, and Z and I did Z and C. and suddenly your insecurity, your imposter syndrome comes in, and you settle back. Now, you read 100 more of those tweets, and you start to either get riled up or believe in it and get in with that community. And before you know it, you're reading another tweet that says, if you use Photoshop, they think you're, not a photographer. And boom, you bite and you bite back. And after all that, why am I telling you this? Well, I'm telling you this because I think we can solve it by changing his mindset in one simple way. Just don't do negative connotations. Because the amount of times, and it's hard, the amount of times I see tweets that, a bit borderline, you think, is this person having a bit of a dig? Well, probably not, benefit of doubt, bang. But then if you read 10 of those, they suddenly add up and you start to see negativity where negativity might not be. So for me, you should try it. You should try it tonight. Just 1 hour, no negative connotations, read all the tweets, whether someone's bitching and moaning about something else, and try and see what it is for itself. Because it may just be that someone actually is just going out there going, guys, I use Lightroom, shout out to all you that use Lightroom, you're amazing. And it might just come across that they're actually having a bit of a go at Photoshop, and I think this is my message. It's a long one, it's interesting I think, but tell me what you think. Here we go. Bye. Doodles. But I would love to know what you think. I've had a bit of a rant today. I don't really know what that's about, but anyway, hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think. Doodles.